Alright, so welcome back to the Race and Relationship series. Today is Thursday, meaning that we're going to talk about romance in the Bible. On Monday, we talked about race in the Bible, particularly regarding interracial relationships and how God views them. So if you haven't watched that video yet, warning, it's relatively long, but click the link right over here to watch that video. But this video we're going to try to keep relatively short, so let's just jump right into it. We're going to talk about when is it appropriate for one to start dating. Alright, so there's no real concept of dating, at least not as we know it here right now, in the Bible. Pretty much what you see in the Bible is, well, marriage. And so I guess dating is kind of a new phenomenon, this kind of intermediate stage between, before you get into marriage stage. I'm guessing the main point you can grasp from that is the fact that dating is meant to progress, or at least, get you to the point of marriage, right? And so that kind of rules out this idea of recreational dating or just dating for fun or whatever. So there has to be a clear goal or purpose behind dating besides just, hey, it's fun and it's pleasurable and it's whatever, right? The goal should be, I'm looking for a committed relationship with someone who I can spend the rest of my life with, right? So how do you even begin to find this person? How do you even know when you're ready, for this type of relationship? Well, I think you have to ask yourselves 4 questions, all right? The first question is, why? Right? Why do you even want to be in a relationship? Right? What's your motivation? Right? What's your reasoning behind why you want to be in a relationship? And be honest with yourself. Right? Is it just because you feel lonely and just want to be with someone? Is it because maybe you need a little ego boost, so having someone not by your side to give you that little affirmation is what you want? Maybe you have a low self-esteem and you want someone to help bolster that for you. Maybe you just see everyone else doing it, so you're just trying to follow the bandwagon. Or maybe you even might be pressured into it. Right? Like there's a lot of reasons why people end up in relationships, and unfortunately, the main one, ironically, isn't the fact they actually love this individual. There's a lot of other factors that are involved, particularly just mere physical attraction or what have you. But you really want to ask yourself, why am I gonna invest in a relationship? Because that's really what it is. You're investing your time, yourself, your emotions. You're investing into a relationship. So you don't want to just do it willy-nilly. Like, you want to be able to make a sound investment. Okay? So understand why you're engaging in this relationship, and also understand why this other person wants to be in a relationship with you. Right? Once you understand both of the whys, then you can at least move on to the next question, which is who, right? Who are you engaging in a relationship with, right? Don't date someone because you want to get to know them better. You're not going to get to know someone by dating them, right? If anything, all you're going to get to know is that Photoshop version of them that they want you to think that they are, when in reality, they're really someone totally different. Okay, if you want to get to know someone, get to know them on a mutual friendship level, right? That's when you really get the most real of a person that you'll probably get, okay? Because once someone knows that you like them or that they like you or whatever, they're going to start to change the way they act, change what they say, change what they do, and so on and so forth. You're not really going to get to know the real them. You're going to get this very superficial, surface level, Photoshop version of themselves that they want you to think that they are. But in reality, they might be someone totally different. And the last thing you want to do is invest like a year into this person and then realize that, oh my gosh, this person is totally different than what I expected them to be, because I fell in love with this fake person and now the real them is coming out and I don't like them. Right? So make sure that you actually know who you're getting into a relationship with. Alright? Observe them, be friends with them before, because you don't want to, be duped, when you're already, so deep into an already established relationship. Alright? So know why you're doing it, know who you're getting yourself entangled with. All right, and also need to know where. Right, where is this relationship going? Right, is there a destination in mind? Is this just kind of like a roundabout where you're just going in circles and in circles and in circles, or is there actually a clear route that we're traveling on? Because a lot of the issues is that two people come together and they have totally different objectives, totally different destinations on where they want the relationship to go, how fast they want it to go, how slow they want it to go, and so on and so forth. And so a lot of times the relationship clashes on these differences. So you want to understand, one, what do you want out of the relationship and where do you want the relationship to go, and understand what this other person wants and where they want the relationship to go. And if those two things aren't really meshing very well, then you should probably part ways. Because last thing you want to, again, is have this strife because you want the relationship to go this way, but it's continually going this way. And yeah, so understand where the relationship is going. Make sure that the person is committed to that relationship and that it's progressing towards an actual marital commitment, and not just going around in circles for the pleasure, just for the fun of it, just because, I want to see where this goes, when in reality you don't even know where you're going. So how you gonna know where it goes if you don't know where you're going? It doesn't make sense, does it? Alright, and then lastly, you want to know how, right? You want to know where you're going, but you also, more importantly, want to know how you're going to get there, okay? And even more so importantly, is you want to understand how you'll be able to manage things like conflict, right? With any relationship, there's going to be conflict. You're not always going to be in this honeymoon stage of everything is gravy, everything is agreeable. There's a come a point where you are going to disagree, where there is going to be a conflict, and you have to know how you're going to manage that conflict, how you're going to overcome that particular issue. If there's going to be a compromise, if there's going to be some sort of settlement, if there's going to be whatever, however you choose to do it. Okay, because if you don't know how to manage conflict now in the beginning stages, it's not going to get any better further down the road. So you want to be able to understand that, you want to be able to know that you can manage conflict with this individual and know how you're going to do so, and make sure you both agree on that how. All right, so understand why you're getting yourself into a relationship, and make sure it's for a legitimate reason and not just for something superficial like I'm attracted to this person, they look good, or I'm lonely, or my biological clock is ticking. Something that women usually say, my biological clock is ticking, I need to get into a relationship real fast. Make sure you know why you're getting into a relationship. Make sure it's a legitimate reason. Make sure the other person is also in it for a legitimate reason. All right. Make sure that it's heading towards the goal of an ultimate committal relationship in marriage. Understand who you're getting yourself involved with. Make sure you know them not just on a superficial level, but get to know them on a deeper level. Get to know who they are at the core of their being, their character, so that you will know whether or not you actually are compatible with this person, whether or not you actually like them for them and not for this caricature or this Photoshop version that they presented to you. All right. 3, make sure you know where the relationship is headed, so that you guys both are heading in the same direction, on the same page, and that you aren't going this way and the other person is going that way, causing a lot of conflict. And then, of course, know how you're going to manage things like differences, conflict, and so on and so forth. Okay, and just some quick side notes. Obviously, if you're a Christian, you want to be with someone who also shares that same conviction that you do. You want to make sure that person, loves the Lord with all his heart, soul, and mind. His life's dedicated to that individual, or that individual's dedicated to him. And you want to make sure that you yourself are dedicated to God. Because the last thing you want is for either the person to not be dedicated to God, but you are, or you're dedicated to God and they're not. And again, one person is leading the other person down a path that they don't want to go. All right, and make sure that, again, the maturity level is equal, because dating is not about age. There is no right age for dating. All right, dating really boils down to maturity. Right, you can be 23 years old and still not be mature enough to handle the responsibility of dating, right? Because literally you are, handling someone's life, someone's heart, someone's mind. Like, you have the ability to literally ruin someone's life if you want to, if the relationship doesn't go well, All right, so you need to be mature enough and wise enough to be able to understand the weight of a relationship and be able to handle that weight. If you're like 12 years old, you have no idea what it means to be able to handle your own emotions, much less handle someone else's emotions or someone else's problems. All right, so you want to be mature enough, wise enough to be able to handle effectively and wisely the things that come with the relationship. You need to be able to do things like sacrifice, compromise, show altruism, and so on and so forth. Right? It's not just about you. You have to be an other-centered mindset as well. Right? And just, of course, you want to make sure that you're keeping God at the center of the relationship, and that you're not unintentionally making this person an idol or a new God in your life, where you're focusing all your time, all your energy, and everything on this person, and you're kind of throwing God by the wayside because he's not as fulfilling as this new lover that you have. All right, so bear in mind that Christ should not just be a crutch that you hold on to when you need him, but he should be the center of your relationship, center of all that you do. All right, and again, at the end of the day, the marriage is the ultimate goal. Right? So don't just date just to date, just for recreation, just because you're bored or you're lonely or whatever. Right? The end goal is to be in a committed relationship with someone that you can spend the rest of your life with. Alright? So when you know that you're ready to start dating, well, when you found someone, when you yourself have acknowledged, an appropriate reason why you want to engage in a relationship, right? And it's not for any superficial or selfish reasons or motives. When you find someone who is, worthy of your time and your devotion and your energy and your investment, when you're able to understand who they are and you're able to see that you're compatible with this person, that you can spend the rest of your life with that person, when you have an agreement on where the relationship is going, and of course, when you are able to engage with the individual in such a way that you guys can come to solutions when it comes to conflict or differences and so on and so forth. So there's a lot that goes into relationships. This is just a crash course, really. But you really want to make sure that you're ready to jump into this pool, because it can get real deep real quick, and doggy paddle may not be able to help for too long. All right. So anyway, that's just my quick little video on how to know when to start dating, and what the few guidelines should be. So next week we'll continue with the romance in the Bible series. There isn't much of a Bible in here, so there isn't really any dating tips in the Bible. You just have marriage. But for all those who are in a dating relationship or those who are married, just remember that Valentine's Day is on Sunday, 14th. So, hey, if that's what you want to do, make sure you do something, alright? Anyway, I will see you next week.
You